to Quacks 5 Clucks Farm, elevated garden bed, take 1, action. How to build a elevated garden bed. Now, this is going to be 3 foot high, 3 foot wide, 6 foot long. Now, most of you homesteaders can source a lot of the material on your homestead because you've been homesteaded for a long time. Did I just say homesteaded for a long time? I mean homesteading for a long time. But thanks Bailey Bob. I had to hit up good old Lowe's to get our wood. Cedar's very expensive, so I went with Ton and Groove Eastern White Pine. I did my research, asked Mr. Google Pants. Hey! Thanks Bailey Bob. Hey Mr. Google Pants, how long does it take for Eastern White Pine to rot? Mr. Google Pants came back and said, 20 years. 20 years, you say? That's a long time. A lot can happen in 20 years. 20 years is fine with me. Now, I did get some cedar to go underneath the bed. Scoop. Billy Bob again. Screw it in. Put your hardware cloth in. Then you put your landscape fabric in. Of course, you get your stapler. You tack in that hardware cloth. And you'll be good to go. Alright, so now we used the table saw to cut the bottom portion off the Ton and Groove to make it nice, flush and smooth. Now this is the section that your cedar, your 1x4 cedar, will screw onto. Now go back on the next 4 pieces and cut the top groove off to make that nice and flush, look all pretty. And all you got there, just fit together like that. And then you got flush edges on top and bottom, making your elevated garden bed look simply beautiful. As I just drop a piece of wood. So anyways, when you use a table saw, you always make sure you keep your fingers clear of the blade. And always make sure you have something when you get towards the end of pushing your wood through. You can use this to finish out the process while you're using your other hand to steady the board and apply pressure, especially if you don't have no one helping you. Very important. You can just cut up a small piece of wood, use that, and just feed it on through when you get towards the end of your cut. So yeah, it's coming along nicely so far. We just got to cut, like I said, the top off. Get rid of this. That way it's nice, flush, and smooth. And hey, be looking good. Next, I got to cut the 4x4x8 Douglas fir post that will be used for legs. That'll be interesting. All right, stay tuned. Alright, so now we need to cut our 4x4x8 Douglas fir posts. I've already cut this one. I've squared off the ends so that way they're nice and flush. You want to do that, especially since we are making this elevated garden bed 3 foot. Alright, so today's a new day. We got all of our wood cut yesterday. Of course, this is bad timing to even talk because Papa Guinea's guineas are showing up because they see that I'm outside. But today's a new day. Today we are going to build only one of the elevated garden beds. I cut enough wood for 2, but today we're just going to build one for the DIY video. I got Caroline here to help me out. Now the screws I got, they say that you don't have to pre-drill, but I'm still going to pre-drill because this is only 1 inch thick wood and I don't want it to split. So let's go ahead and do that. I already used the speed square, make sure everything was level. Now when you screw, you never want to line them up. You always want them opposite areas. You never want them to line up. That gives more stability, durability to what you're building. All right, Caroline. Now pre-drilling the holes, I think, just made that much more simpler. Now even though these screws self-tap themselves, I still think it would have split the wood. So it was a good idea to ignore those instructions and to pre-drill your holes. It's real simple. I used a 3/32 drill bit and the screws went in with ease, and there's still enough wood for the threads to grab. You never want to use a drill bit that pretty much matches the circumference of your screw. You want the threads of the screw to grab that wood. So I used a 3/32 drill bit, and these are 2-inch screws made by Deck Plus. Alright, so next we'll take the clamp off and we'll do this side piece. Okay.
There's a screw right there, so I'm gonna grab it. What's going on over there?
Alright, so now we're going to do this side. Now remember, I took the table saw and I cut the bottoms and some of the tops so that way to dress it up real nice so it's nice and smooth once finished on the top and the bottom. When you do this, always double check to make sure your tongue and groove is facing in the right direction. If you don't, you have to take it all back apart. So, all right, Caroline, you ready? All right. All right, this one.
Do you need another thread?
Nope. All right. So, you're half done with the framing. What you do is on your next step, you repeat the process.
Again?
And then I will teach you on what to do after that. All right, so now we're ready to put your tongue and groove on.
Ow!
This should be fairly simple. Just like so. Make sure you want to be flush on your ends. Perfect. All right, Caroline, check that end. Are we good? Okay. So far so good. That's about how deep our box is going to be. When we enclose this, we will tack on the 1x4 cedar on the bottom, so that way the dirt just doesn't come falling out. The cedar bracing will hold the hardware cloth and the landscape fabric all in place. It'll probably take maybe, well, I don't know, this is our first time building one. We'll figure out how much minute soil it will take. So, most importantly, we get this done and we'll see how it looks for our first time building a elevated garden bed?
Bed.
Really?
You say that? Bed.
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 There's nothing like having helpers show up in force to do a elevated garden bed. Alright, so we had to pre-drill our cedar planks. I noticed even though I didn't pre-drill on this last ton of groove, it didn't split, it did great, but when it came to these cedar planks, they started to split a hair, so I backed it out. So I pre-drilled every plank. Worked out great. This is very tedious to someone like me because you got an inch to work with. You know, to line it up perfectly so your screw doesn't come out the backside and show. I don't like it when that happens, but hey, you know, I haven't built many of these. This is the first, but so far so good. Just line it up. You want to go real slow. Awesome job. I think we did it. Yeah? Alright. Alright, so we're at the end of our project. We just got to staple in our hardware cloth. We'll add the landscape fabric and the amended soil later on when we're ready. But yeah, we just got to staple this in. Hardware cloth is very hard to work with. I recommend you wearing some good gloves and have some good snips. But yeah, we will do our best to get some of these bows out. But all in all, not bad for our first elevated garden bed. So, the elevated garden bed is complete, and I can't be any prouder. This is so awesome. I did it. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me on that. She did have some challenges. The hardware cloth is very hard to work with, but I got it done. Caroline helped me, so thank you, Caroline, for the huge help. So yeah, if I've taught you anything, please hit that subscribe button, get all of our notifications, like and share. We got a lot of DIY projects coming down the pipe, and I hope I can teach you some more and learn myself along the way. That didn't sound right, did it? I hope to learn myself, not learn myself. What am I trying to say here? Teach myself along the way. So you learn, I learn together, because we're homesteaders. There's no need to pay someone else to do this work when we can do it ourselves, right? That is right. So I plan to build maybe 4 more of these, 3 more of these. I got enough wood cut over here to do 1 more. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a treat, or it was an honor for me to come out of my shell and do something like this for you guys. So I really appreciate it. I love all of you guys. So yeah, spread the word that 2 Quacks and 5 Clucks farm is up and coming. Subscribe and like and share. Thanks everyone. Appreciate it. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more projects. Thanks.